Introduction. Supply chain management is the study of the movement of goods and services, and it encompasses all procedures that transform raw material into finished items. For teaching theoretical information and techniques, the traditional supply chain management teaching style, which relies on notes and teachers' expertise, is critical. A significant disconnect for students in Logistic and Supply Chain Management Department of Polytechnic Nilai to understand the theoretical education based on the survey that have been conducted among the students. This problem can be solved by implementing the game-based learning technology. Several researchers have developed supply chain simulators that using gaming aspects to aid in the understanding of planning principles and restrictions within a supply chain.
The business problem for this project. Based on the questionnaire that I give to the Polytechnic Nilai student for the course of Diploma in Logistics and Supply Chain Management Semester 3, what I found that 98.7% of student DLS3 choose the most difficult course was the Basic Supply Chain Management course because it was too challenging. Furthermore, 84% of student DLS3 state that this supply chain management course had too much content and theory to understand. Finally, the time taken for students to understand the course was divided into 4 weeks. But based on the questionnaire, as many as 40% of students choose 2 weeks for them to understand compared to other weeks.
Objective of this business project. The general objective of this business project is to design the SEM catch-up game in improving understanding the fundamental of supply chain management cost. The specific objective of this business project is to identify the problem in understanding the fundamental of supply chain management cost among the students. Secondly is to develop the new teaching and learning activity in improving understanding the fundamental of supply chain management cost. Lastly is to measure the perception of usability of SEM catch-up game.
Scope of business project. There are 5 things to be considered. The first one is what? To create a game to improve understanding student of the Diploma Logistics and Supply Chain Management. Next is who? Focus on Part 3 Logistics and Supply Chain Management student. Beside that, when this project was started on September 2021 to February 2022. Next is how. According to the data that has been collected, the hardest subject is supply chain management. So, with this SCM catch-up game can improve student understanding. Last but not least is where. Located at Polytechnic Nilai Negeri Sembilan.
Limitations of business project. Lack of time. This is due to the fact that each member of group was preoccupied with their own duties at the time and they do not have time to discuss business initiative. This issue developed because time constraint for interview and distribute of questionnaire among semester 3 students due to online learning. In addition, time constraint to gather in a group face-to-face because group members do not stay in the same place. This makes it difficult to share opinion and also discuss face-to-face. In conclusion, group members are also final year students, so many subjects need to be focused, and cause group member time management is very compact and need to be complete business project in January 2022.
Product details. SCM catch-up game is a match-up game that is drag and drop each keyword next to its definition. Besides that, it also can be shape matching. Furthermore, in the default matching game, user have to match up the image with the correct words. It is a fantastic way for students to do exercise and learn new information in a fun way. How to play SCM catch-up game? It is very easy and fun. The first step is SCM catch-up game can be played in Google Chrome by simply clicking the link provided. The next is enter the player name. Next is move or place each keyword next to its meaning by dragging and dropping it. The answer chosen must be correct. And lastly, after you've complete all of the question, the leaderboard will display your overall score.
And the raw material that used for this business project. First, syllabus. Syllabus is a requisite document for teaching in that it serves to outline the basis element of a course, including what topic will be covered, a weekly schedule, and a list of tests and assignments and their associated weighting. Secondly is a reference book. Reference book, also called as a reference or a background source or resource to get a quick information or an overview of a subject.
Process to develop product. Before developing a product, the first step is identify the problem faced by student DLS3, which is take a long time to understand the supply chain management course. Collect data from student DLS3 and DLS alumni through the questionnaire. After that, we will design our product, which is supply chain management catch-up game, which will help student DLS3 to solve their problem. And finally, evaluate the product whether it can help student DLS3 to solve their problem.
Novelty and uniqueness. Novelty. Designed by using the matchup template, which is a new idea for fundamentals of supply chain management course. Uniqueness. Students can play the game multiple times to get all correct answers and beat the peers' scores. This game is easy to access and can be played in both laptops and smartphones. Students will be able to check their final scores and the time taken to finish the game.
Justification of this business project. The purpose of this project is to improving the understanding of the concept in fundamental of supply chain management course at Polytechnic Nilai. This project focuses on semester 3 students in Diploma in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. One of the core courses in Diploma in Logistics and Supply Chain Management is a fundamental of supply chain management course. Other than that, as compared to the fundamental of warehouse management course, the fundamental of supply chain management course received the higher percentage of vote from DLS3 students in the survey. According to the survey, semester 3 students are interested in using the technique of reviewing via mobile device or online game.
Proposal planning and costing. The following table show the proposal planning and costing of the improving understanding the concept in fundamental of supply chain management. The budget provided is compatible with the design and information needed to create the supply chain management catch-up game. So the costing that our group spent is internet.
Situational analysis. What is situational analysis? Situational analysis is the process of critically evaluating the internal and external conditions. That is SWOT analysis. The first one is strength. Strength is a quality that adds value to something from other. The second one is weakness. Weakness is lack of the necessary and competency from something. Beside that is opportunity. Opportunity is a situation or condition that is conducive to an activity. Last but not least is threat. Threat is a situation or condition that is jeopardize the completion of an activity. Next, I would like to present about Porter-Weiss forces. What is Porter-Weiss forces? Porter-Weiss forces is analysis framework that helps analyzing the level of competitors within a certain industry. The first one is rivalry among existing competitors, like number of competitors, diversity of competitors. The second one is threat of new entrants, such as barrier to entry, economies of scale, and brand loyalty. The next is bargaining power of buyers, like number of customer or buyer's ability to substitute. The next is threat of substitute, like number of substitute products available. The last but not least is bargaining power of suppliers, like number and size of suppliers.
Methodology. As for methodology, we use a questionnaire to collect data for this project. In the questionnaire, the first part we put a student background, for example like name, gender and class. And the second part, we put the data that to find the problem of student DLS3 in this project.
Research design. Quantitative research involves numerical or measurable data. It is employed in the research of big population. Statistical, mathematical, and computational techniques are used to collect the information. Qualitative research is a sort of scientific investigation in which a researcher gathers evidence in order to find answers to a specific issue. It is linked to the study of human behavior from an educational standpoint. For this project, the quantitative research method is used where questionnaires were distributed to the current FATIMAH students and alumni students of the Diploma in Logistics and Supply Chain Management course. The total number of participants in this survey was 97 participants, where 22 alumni students and the rest 75 participants were FATIMAH students.
Sampling frame. First is clearly defined target population. It's generally defined to mean a group or set of elements that you want to know more information about. Most of the time, target population and population are synonymous. Number 2 is select sampling frame. The sampling frame is a list or other device used to define a researcher's population of interest. Number 3, choose sampling technique. Sampling is a technique of selecting individual member or subset of the population to make statistical inference from them and estimate characteristics of the whole population. Number 4 is determine sample size. Sample size is frequently used term in statistics and market research, and one that inevitably come up whenever surveying a large population of respondents. Number 5 is collect data. Data collection is the primary and most important step for research, irrespective of the field of research. Number 6, assess response rate. Response rate, known as completion rate or return rate, is the number of people who answer the survey divided by the number of people in the sample.
Data collection method. As you guys can see, survey or questionnaire. We make an online survey. This online survey was created on 26 October 2021 with the multiple choice question. Next, this survey created using Google Form. Besides that, only need a day to make sure all of the students answered the survey. On the other hand, we can make an observation. As you guys can see, majority students in Part 3 Logistics Supply Chain Management choose the subject Fundamental of Supply Chain Management as the most difficult to study.
Next, I will explain the data analysis method that used for this business project. Data analysis method is the process of evaluating data using the logical and analytic reasoning to carefully examine each component of data collected and provided. The outcome of the project are discussed in this data analysis, which is based on the analysis of data accurate from respondent response to the Google Form questionnaire. The collected data and finding will be displayed in the form of table, with number and percentage as well as a pie chart. This project used a descriptive statistic as a data analysis method. Descriptive statistic data, also known as a descriptive analysis in the first level of analysis, is help researchers summarize the data and find the pattern.
Conclusion. Supply chain management is the study of flow of products and services, and it includes all processes that turn raw materials into complete things. Understanding the fundamentals of supply chain management course is the main problem faced by the Part 3 Diploma in Logistics and Supply Chain Management students. To solve this problem, the creation of SCM Catch-up Game enhances understanding and keeps students engaged in the fundamentals of supply chain management course.